Hello viewers, welcome to another episode of Inside the Dressing Room. I'm your host Rubaid Iftikhar. Today we are going to talk about one of the last remaining legends of Bangladesh cricket who called it a day yesterday, Mahmudullah Riyad. What a career it has been, and to talk about all that I have Atif Azam with me. Atif, welcome to the show. Mahmudullah Riyad, definitely one of the great names of Bangladesh cricket, but initially in his earlier career, let's say 5 to 6 years, he did not get the recognition he deserved. Later, fans and critics alongside, they started to agree that yes, he is a legendary cricketer and an inseparable part of Bangladesh cricket. He retired, and what do you think about all this retirement saga going on in Bangladesh cricket right now? First Mushfiq, then Mahmudullah. Let's talk about Mahmudullah first.
Robert, if I have to say the truth, as far as fans are concerned, he doesn't belong to a Sakibian group or a Tamimian group. I haven't seen a Mahmudian group.
Right.
So he is a legend of his own, by his own self.
Right.
I mean, he doesn't have a big fan base in the social media, always remained a silent man, and he had a very conservative approach towards everything. And probably he had his reasons for having this conservative approach, but still what I would like to say is that 5 cricketers have taken Bangladesh to the next step, and Mahmudullah is certainly one of them.
Surely
one of them. The innings that he played along with Sakib against New Zealand, you remember that century?
2017.
I think that was a benchmark innings for a benchmark, not an innings. That's a benchmark game for Bangladesh. Because that game literally took Bangladesh's self-belief to a different height.
Right.
Because Bangladesh were struggling at one point when Mahmudullah and Sakib came up with that rescue act.
Yes, they were 4 for 34 or something like that.
But they came up with a brilliant rescue act. From that point of time, if you see his innings, all those innings, he also scored a century against England earlier.
Right.
In the ICC
World Cup.
ICC World Cup. Yeah, and scoring 100 in ICC World Cup, you need something in you.
Right.
Because it's not very easy to score 100 in a global tournament. Mahmudullah did it twice, and even in the last 2023 World Cup,
he scored another century.
And in the first match, he was dropped. Then he returned to the squad. Lot of speculations. There were a lot of talks regarding him, why he was picked up, what was the reason for picking him up in the squad, and all those things. And he shut all the critics with his performance in the World Cup. He was the high scorer for Bangladesh.
Right, and Atif,
it was a very disappointing.
Exactly, and
disappointing campaign.
Always came big in the global tournaments, right?
Yeah, and
all his centuries are in ICC events.
Yeah, it did not count because Bangladesh could not win, but he was a high scorer and he shut down the mouth of everyone with his batting. Even he retired, but even apart from the Champions Trophy, he had a very good, even in the last 4 games. Before that match, 4 games he scored probably 450s. So he was in a good nick, but he decided to retire. That ends an era, I think, because still now Sakib Al Hasan haven't retired from ODIs.
And what about Mashrafi?
And he couldn't retire from any format.
Right.
For Sakib,
we haven't heard anything from Mashrafi yet.
No, he congratulated both Riyad and Mushfiq, but this retirement saga also, I think, starts a new journey, a new beginning in the Bangladesh.
Hope too.
Now, in Bangladesh Cricket Board, because just you mentioned what about Mashrafi. Mashrafi could not retire because the board could not get time to sit with him. The board could not fix up a possible retirement plan for him.
Right.
And this saga went on going and going. Someday we used to ask Mashrafi, what is your plan? Someday we used to ask the then board president, Najmul Hassan, what is his plan regarding Mashrafi?
But they could not finalize anything.
They could not finalize anything, and Mashrafi could not retire. As for Mahmudullah and Mushfiq is concerned, I'm very happy that the board had the courage to
talk with them regarding this.
Yeah, sit with the 2 seniors and came up with their plan of action that is now they're eyeing on 2027 World Cup, and they
are not part of the plan, right?
Are part of the plan, and this courage of sitting down is a new trend, because our board hardly had time to talk with the cricketers when it comes to the retirement plan is concerned.
Exactly.
They always used to say that, okay, let the cricketer say something, let the cricketer decide, then we'll decide what we have to do.
Right.
But in this case, board had a firm step. They were firm on the stand that this is what we want to do. What is your take on that? And they decided to retire. So I think it's a very professional approach from both ends.
And it's a positive start, I hope, that the next batch of cricketers, the next generation of cricketers will follow Mahmudullah and Mushfiq's footsteps and talk to the board, and rather from the other side, the board will talk to them. Whoever.
Yeah, and one thing we must understand that in this age, retiring from field is just, you can just say it a luxury because you are playing 3 formats. You are not retiring in all the formats at the same time. Some are choosing white ball format, some are choosing red ball format. So
some are choosing the shortest format.
Yeah,
right?
so let's not make any hue and cry about retiring from Facebook and all those things, because all the players in the world are doing this. They are announcing their retirement in the social media platform.
Right.
You must be remembering Dhoni's retirement.
Exactly.
All this big retirement call came up in the social media. So, but yes, but I mean, what is good about it is that we are not lingering with Mushfiq and Mahmudullah. If they haven't retired yet, probably we'll be saying how long Mushfiq and Mahmudullah will play. We did a show in that manner.
Exactly. Atif, now comes the question. Very shortly, I want to ask you that now, in a way, the Big Five is gone. The Big Five, the legendary Big Five, who carried Bangladesh cricket for 20 years. For the next 20 years, who will be the next Big Five? Do you have any picks, or should we come out of this individualism to a team performance in the next 2 decades?
I think the latter will suit Bangladesh. Because individual performance doesn't help Bangladesh cross the ladder. I mean, if you see Bangladesh's performance, you won't see that Bangladesh won against big teams on the back of an individual performance.
Exactly. All the time.
All the time. Yeah. Against Zimbabwe
and the lesser teams.
Bangladesh's individual performance counts a lot because an individual performance overshadows everyone.
Exactly.
But against big teams, whenever Bangladesh performed, their contribution came from all segments. So I think team Bangladesh needs to start gathering, and there should be a core player, 4 or 5 players that I think that Bangladesh have already got. I don't want to name right now because we can see, because whatever who will replace Mahmudullah, who will replace Mushfiqur in the ODIs at that position is a scene that remains to be seen. And I hope that Bangladesh need to start think afresh and go to the next tournament, I mean the 2027 tournament, with a much better preparation.
All right.
Rubaiyat, we are talking about cricket, but I know that you are a football folk. So just wanted to know what you did last night. Well, I mean, it must be a very...
yes, it was very unnerving to watch the Madrid derby you were talking about.
Yeah,
I know. But I'm sure all the other football fans, not only in Bangladesh, but all around the world, were glued to their TV sets because this was one of the matches of the season. And as expected, it was a toe-to-toe match, but it ended in a controversy. And in short, let me explain to the viewers who missed that match that Julian Alvarez, the match went to penalties, of course. Atletico Madrid won the tie 1-0 and the leg was 1-0, but the tie was 1-1 equal. So the match went to extra time and then into penalties, and Julian Alvarez took a penalty. And first, the referee gave it, but the VAR, the video assistant referee, cancelled it as the FIFA rule number 24 explicitly explains that you cannot double touch a ball when you are taking a penalty. And the video shows apparently. Why I'm saying apparently? Because the Atletico Madrid coach Diego Simeone did not agree with it. On the other hand, Real Madrid coach Carlo Ancelotti agreed with it, that the video evidence is right. The video evidence showed that when Alvarez was kicking with his right hand, his left hand softly touched the ball. So that was a double touch. And that created all the controversy.
Thank you, Rubaiyat. Thank you very much.
Atif, thanks to you, in fact, for your time. Folks, that's all the time we had for today. We hope you enjoyed our episode, and we'll keep you bringing on all the sports updates and all the sports stories from around the world. Till then, you take care.